There are worlds outside the world we see with our physical eyes. It's a spiritual world, which you can't see, and there is the physical world that we can see. I used to call the physical world for the world of 3 dimensions, where you have the height, the width, and the length, and then you can measure the depth. When we read in Mark 16:14, I observed something special God revealed for me for many years ago now. I also saw it in the Hebrew Bible and the Greek Bible. It's written, Jesus said to his disciples, "Go ye out in all the world and proclaim the gospel for all creations." The word world there, when we look at that more deeply, in the root of the Hebrew and the Greek, the word world means cosmos. And then we suddenly are getting a much bigger perspective, a perspective who is everlasting, is eternity we're talking about. There's no end, there's no beginning. So when I understood that, I started to think there must be something more, really much more than I can see and touch with my physical senses. So when I then observed in Ephesians 3:16, we can take that together and read it, because that's a very interesting passage. Let's see here what is written. It's written, it is not 16, 18. I take 17 as well. That Christ must dwell in your hearts by faith, that ye being rooted and grounded in love. That means that we're living our lives 100% for Jesus, laying everything down for him. Then and obeying his word, written word of God, the Bible. Then we're getting rooted in the word of God. We're getting established in his word. And then an understanding will come up, and this is it. That Christ may dwell in your hearts by faith, yes, that ye being rooted and grounded in him, in love, may be able to comprehend with all the saints, all the other born-again Christians, what is the breadth, the length, and the depth, and the height. So you see, here is mentioned 4 measures. Here's also mentioned a depth. When we have the 3-dimensional world, as I mentioned, we can count out and measure out the depth. But here it also is mentioned a depth. So here is talking about a depth in the depth. Now we are talking about the 4th dimension. You see, the spiritual world that cannot be seen or touched and done anything with the physical senses at all. When we talk about cosmos, outside the atmosphere around the world, the planet Earth, tell us the name of the planet we're living on. Outside there, we are coming out in cosmos. And there also is empty. Most of the place out there is empty for you and I to see. But it's not empty, it's filled. It's filled. Everything you see out there, you see all that is not there. You see it. But all that empty room in all the universe, in all cosmos, is filled with the Spirit of God. Is there. And everything else outside that is filled with physical material in planet, galaxies, everything that is out there, as far as we can see at this time of history. So we see, but I believe, we talk about the 4th dimension now, and we talk about the 3rd dimension, but I believe there's other dimensions as well. But we have to search the Lord according to his word, learn to know him heart by heart, learn to know him personally, so that he can lead you further on, further out into the wonderful spiritual things. It was not for anything that Jesus walked up to the mountain in the night to be alone with his Father, to talk with him, get information from him, and to learn to know him even more and more and more. That's needed for us to do as well, to come into a deeper relationship, into a deeper life, and into a deeper understanding of the spiritual life with Christ, the Holy Spirit, and God the Father, and with each other, and to be effective as witnesses for Christ, as disciples for Christ, as He has planned us to be.